Exciting. I would like to think I was quite a slick boxer that can fight, you know. So, I mean, I work on a lot of stuff in the gym, and just that will make me an all-round better fighter. I could, you know, if I need to box, then I'll box, and if I need to fight, I'll fight, and if I have to do both in a fight, then I'll do both. You know, I'm like you said, you see my fights. I'm quite loose, and you know, some people would call it cocky, but you know, I ooze confidence as a fight goes on, and you know, as long as I go in there loose, not tense, then I don't believe that anyone in Britain will be able to live with what I can offer.
I noticed in the fight that you one of the tendencies was you to bang your gloves and then shake to left or right before you threw a shot. Was that something you just did naturally? Was that something?
It just you know, it's a bit of flair in it. You know, it's just being nice and loose and just letting the shots go. You know, when I see an opening, and that's all it is. And you know, I like to, you know, I mean, bring fighters on to throw shots at me, because when you throw shots, you know, you're open and you could get knocked out. So it's as simple as that.
So your style it's not the traditional stand-up left jab right hand, which is a very British style. Is there a reason why you've gone away from that to this more sort of American style, where you've got very fluid head movement, you know, use the feet reflexes?
Well, you see a lot of British fighters get to British level, and they come up, you know, they come up short when they go to America, or you know, they end up getting beat out there. And like you said, you know, there's a lot of fighters that have just got the normal, you know what I mean, tight guard 1s and 2s, and haven't got a lot of flair. I've just, you know what I mean, I wanna not looking past British level. Don't get me wrong, you know, it's domestically a good category to be in. But I want to go on to massive things, you know, in 4, 5, 6 years time. So I've got to start now, you know. This is where it starts, you know. And I'm just comfortable the way I fight. I'm comfortable, and you know, I haven't sort of really watched any British fighters. I wouldn't want to compare myself to a British fighter, and you know, like I said, they usually come up short when they fight the Americans. You know, you get the Ricky Attons, that was a massive name, but a lot of the big names are in America. And, you know, I suppose they're just better all-round fighters, to be fair.
But you look at the Hatton style. The Hatton style wasn't your typical, again, left jab, right hand, left hook. Hatton was a very marauding style, very Mexican style, ferocious. Get inside and ferocious. Lots of body work, you know.
Well, my coach actually fought him in the pro.
Yes.
Jason Rowland,
Of course.
And he said like that Ricky was just, you know, he's just another breed. He's just a tough man. He'd just break you up, he'd just break your heart. Do you know what I mean? You just wouldn't be able to stick him off with a jab. He'd just break your heart. So I suppose he was a different breed, wasn't he? You know, he was just tougher than the rest. But like I said, you know, he got to America and fell short, which was unfortunate. But
look who he fell short against, though.
Mayweather
and Pacquiao.
That's right. He hasn't been beat since, and you know, he's got a good chance of ending his career on, you know, without being beat, undefeated. But no, just like I said, like there's a lot of English fighters that get out there and then come short. So you know, you've got to set your standards high. You've got to know what you want, and you know, I believe that my style is good enough to get me up there.
So you're in a very fortunate position, because a lot of fighters don't get to fight on TV, which is what you do. You know, you're on Box Nation. So how did it come about you being on Box Nation? Because, okay, you won the ABAs, but what was it about Mitchell Smith that Frank Warren said, I want this guy?
I don't really know. I mean, I sort of went behind my dad's back when I went pro, because he didn't really want me to go pro. I went behind his back and spoke to a couple of people, and they put me through to Jason. And obviously Jason boxed under Frank Warren when he was pro,
right?
And I suppose he just got onto him. And yeah, I mean, they didn't see me fight to say like, oh, this is a big name. It was just, you know, the channel Box Nation come out, and I mean, I was obviously lucky enough to get on there for my debut. And then since then, the telly have liked me, and they've sort of warmed to the way I fight, and I'm sort of lucky enough to be on there, really. So you get a lot of fighters that have boxed on the same show as me that haven't been shown, the undercard, a lot of more of the undercard, and they haven't been shown, and they probably won't get shown. I won't drop names, but the fighters that aren't exciting, and you know what I mean. So it's unfortunate, really, but like I said, I'm quite, I've got good power. I'm quite slick. I'm quite exciting as a fighter to watch, and the telly obviously Box Nation do like me, and I'm just lucky enough to be on the channel.
Okay, let's talk a little bit more about the fans, and how do you respond to the fans? What's your view of the fans?
Oh, without fans, it's without having fans and selling tickets, you don't get, you won't be put out as much as you'd like to think. But fans are what keep you going. It's great to have your name keep being spoken of, and it gives you that bit of like aura about it. Do you know what I mean? It makes you feel good, and I just appreciate everyone that follows me and that speaks about me highly. I know I've had a few people on Twitter and that. Well, I've got quite a few people on Twitter that speak highly of me, and I couldn't thank them enough. So
that's fantastic. I want to talk about like you as a pro now and going around and getting sparring. Who are the sort of guys you've been sparring? Obviously, you would be sparring guys who are either as good as you or probably better than you or another level than you. Who are the guys you've been sparring in Britain or domestically, I say?
Well, like I said, I've been sparring Liam Walsh. I mean, he's between super featherweight and lightweight, and he's got the Commonwealth super featherweight title.
Just beat Scott Harrison.
That's right, at lightweight. So it's one of them, isn't it? I mean, he said, he's going down to super feather for this fight on the 21st of September. He's on the same show as me,
right?
And he's fighting for a super featherweight title, which is. It's a little bit weird because he was on the verge for a world title winning against Ricky Burns at lightweight, and now he's sort of come back down to super featherweight. So I don't know whether he books himself as much as a lightweight as he does as super featherweight. I don't know, but if he can do super featherweight, fair play to him, because he's a giant and he'd be a giant at the weight. He's taller than me as well. Well, most people are, but. I mean, what was I forgot the question now.
Yeah, the people you've been sparring, names. Like
that's right. Yeah. I mean, I move about with Carl Frampton quite a lot.
Right.
He uses me. Well, I say uses me. He asked me for a lot of sparring for his up and coming fights and that. Right, I sparred with him. I sparred quite a few rounds with him for his Kiko Martinez fight. Which was good. So,
how do you find that, sparring with someone like Scott? Someone said Scott Quick there. Carl Frampton. How do you find sparring someone with like Carl Frampton, who's got a lot of exposure, a lot of people talking about him? What's it like?
Yeah, no, that's right. I mean, obviously, to think that that they're ringing us to get in the ring and spar them and help them out with sparring, and that is a massive confidence booster, because it obviously shows that I'm doing something for him, I'm helping him out, so I've got to be doing something for him at the same time.
Right.
And, to sort of be either holding my own with him, or just, just being in the ring with him is a massive confidence booster. Yeah. Also, I've been sparring. I mean, I do quite a lot of sparring with Joe Mullender as well. Funny enough.
Yes, Mullender did tell me.
He bashed a few times a week. Funny enough, I was sparring with him today. We done a bit of body sparring today, and he's a ferocious git. He don't stop whacking around the body, and I feel broken up today.
For those who don't know, you're super featherweight, and Joe Mullender,
He's come